100% Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's new music.
95.7 MRC.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 3030 Erie Avenue here at Clark Montessori High School. My name is Patrick Lewis, here with the fantastic, fresh Joey Olberding.
Hey everybody, hi, how's it going? I'm excited, Patrick. You want to know why?
Tell me why, Joe.
It's senior night.
It's senior night.
Senior night here at 3030 Erie Avenue for men's high school basketball. We saw earlier Gideon Thomas get his congratulations. He's actually the only senior on Clark currently.
Yes, and this roster does say Brandon Green was on the roster, but he's no longer playing for the team. So we want to just congratulate him as well, because he did spend some time with this Clark Athletics basketball team throughout the year. So yes. Congratulations to BG3, as I like to call him. So looking forward, Joe. This is a big night for Clark Montessori Athletics and the boys basketball team, because they have a chance here to beat Summit Country Day, who is doing some good things. They've always been a great basketball team on the men's and women's side. But if they get a win tonight, it'll mean a lot during the standings in the conference.
It definitely will, because right now Clark is pretty much tied with CHCA in every way. Conference wins, they're the same, but in terms of overall wins and losses, CHCA is doing just a bit better, and they are on a 3-game winning streak while Clark lost their last game. Mm-hmm. So at the moment, it's really important for Clark to win this game, even though it's against a tough Summit team. But Summit has dropped their last 3 out of 4, so it's more winnable for Clark than any other game so far.
Right, and if Clark comes out tonight and plays like they did against North College Hill at North College Hill, they have a chance to win, because they played well defensively. There was a couple stretches of about 2 minutes throughout those games that if they just played well and controlled the ball and played defense, they would have been right there. Clark ended up losing by 8 in that contest, but if they play that way tonight, they're going to have a great chance to win. So we're going to pause here as we stand and honor the flag. And now we'll wait on the starting lineups first for the Summit Country Day Silver Knights, and following them will be a raucous crowd introducing the starting lineups for the Cougars.
Indeed.
Number 1, David Johnson. Number 2, Riley Wood. Number 3, Alonzo Montgomery. Number 11, Terry Evans. And number 21, Michael March. Led by head coach, Pat Castro.
Number 3, Wow. Hey,
All right, that's your starting lineup for your Clark Cougars. We have Sean Ely, Miles Faison, Marlon Lyons, Gideon Thomas, and DeShanti Hawkins leading the charge out of the gate for the Cougars.
Of course, Gideon Thomas is the one senior on this Clark team, and usually he wouldn't be starting, so that's a nice change of pace for Gideon to be starting in his final game, or final home game as a Cougar, quite possibly.
Yeah, and what's going to be great for Gideon and the team, quite honestly, is Quincy Maciu is not going to be with the varsity tonight because he played all 4 quarters with the JV and helped their squad for a fantastic victory on the JV side. So we're at the tip, and Gideon Thomas gets the tip for the Cougars, and Clark will have possession to start this contest. As we have a double dribble violation called on Sean Ely to start things off. Looked like we didn't get a good look, but it looked like they were manning up on Clark defensively.
Well, that's a bad way to start the game, Patrick. It loses a lot of the motivation. Even though you have the crowd behind you, you really still need to start off strong.
Xavier Johnson trying to dribble drive, taken away by Hawkins, ended up in Gideon Thomas's hands, and Faison will lead the points. Gets it to Shanti near wing. They're going to try to have a lot of motion offense and use Gideon. Gideon has it, kicks it back out. Dribble drive left hand. Shanti Hawkins for free throw line. Good first points of the game by Clark.
DeShanti Hawkins is effective anywhere on the court, so you really have to be careful of him no matter where he is. He's one of the few players on this Clark squad that can really do that.
Faison goes for the steal. No good. Xavier Johnson misses the layup. Rebound Hawkins their way in transition. Slows it up. Faison left hand, just like Hawkins was. Kicks it out. Marlon Lyons from the far corner. Airballs it. Rebound Silver Knights.
Well, they went for the dribble drive right there, but it didn't really work out for them. The three-pointer was just off the mark.
Yeah, Marlon Lyons is good this season from the threes. That's his specialty. He is a 33% shooter from that range, as we're going to have a foul on Clark against Sean Ely with a block, and that'll send Xavier Johnson to the free throw line, where he is a 54% free throw shooter on the season.
Lyons really is an important part of this Clark squad because he is that three-point weapon. There's no real three-point weapon on this Clark squad aside from him, so he's really their premier guy going outside.
That's very true. And if Xavier Johnson doesn't get it together offensively as he misses the first shot, it's going to be hard for these Silver Knights to beat Clark the way they've been playing. He hits the second, so 2-1 your score, and we are almost a minute and a half into this contest.
Well, Xavier Johnson is definitely the star of this Summit squad.
Pull up, jump shot from the free throw line. Hawkins off the mark. Rebound battled for, ends up with the Knights. Knights quickly pushing. In the hands of Woods. They'll reset. Hawkins going for the steal, knocks it into the backcourt. We'll stay with the Silver Knights.
Now, that was just a heads-up play by the Silver Knights, and it's a big reason why they're one of the best teams in the entire conference in terms of everything that they do. I mean, they're amazing in every aspect. They're good at passing the ball, but they also have a lot of talent everywhere. Right. That's why they're such an impressive team.
And Hawkins is 5th in the conference and 2.5 steals per game, so you'll see him try that a lot. Xavier Johnson, the southpaw, hitting the three-point from the near wing.
He actually got a full scholarship to North Dakota State.
And school?
And he declined it.
As we have a long three from Ely off the mark with Johnson with the rebound.
Indeed, he chose to go as a walk-in for Ohio State.
Well, he's showing that athletic ability right now. Ohio State wants as he just goes through the lane and lays it up without any resistance from the Clark defense. Your score 6-2 in favor of the Knights. He found his offensive key at the free throw line apparently, and the Clark defense not doing much with it.
Except Clark, it's for a wide receiver. It's not even for basketball, and he's the star for Summit basketball. So that really shows just how athletic and amazing of a player in any sport he really is.
Yeah, that's right. It's like always to have that versatility anywhere on the court. You got that physicality from football, and then you got the knowledge of basketball, the quick and agility type of skills you find on that court. As we continue to have perimeter passing, Ely pulling up right inside the two-point line. Good rebound by Gideon Thomas, and Shanti Hawkins will be fouled around the far elbow. That's the first team foul for the Silver Knights. One team foul for Clark as we are at 4:48 to go.
And though it's a 6-2 game right now in Summit's favor, Clark has really stayed in this ball game. Even though it's so early, they've really shown that they can be a very dominant team.
Entrance pass in the post for Gideon. Gideon off the mark, barely rolls off the rim. Rebound Xavier Johnson. He's mans the point. Woods now being guarded by Gideon Thomas. Long three off the front of the rim. Corralled by Gideon and now ahead of steam for DeShanti. Kicks it back out. Lions near wing. Rattles out, not having the rolls, but good rebounding offensively by Faison.
Faison is one of those quick players that can really get around the court in ease, and the Cougars really need a player like that, especially with the type of game that they play.
Yes, very smooth, although that wasn't smooth there. He gets it knocked away by Johnson. Under 4 minutes to play, and Faison tries to get it back, and unfortunately it's a reach-in foul. The coaches for Clark think it was an offensive foul because he got ball and Xavier gave him a little elbow, but it will be the second team foul for Clark, however. .354 to play. Johnson manning up. Faison's still on him, and you can see that wing that Jensen's flying in his face. A lot of offensive players for Summit doing that as well. Not the only player doing that. Long three from the far wing is good by Ryland Woods.
You need to put pressure on all of these Summit players. They're all so good at doing anything and everything. So guarding them is one of the most important aspects of facing them.
Sean Ealy from the near wing. 3-point field goal is good.
Well, there's a reason why you lead the team in scoring, and that's because he can score. He's such an effective shooter, and I'm glad that he's not a senior and he'll be sticking around for another year.
And a bad foul by Faison, so that's going to be his second personal. He fouled Sam Gossinger, and Gossinger is a good ball player, a good shooter. He was way back from the three-point line. Not a good foul.
Definitely not. That's not range that anybody should be shooting a three, but he got the foul, and well, I guess you can say he got a little lucky, but let's see how he does with these free throws. He airballs the first, so that's not, I mean,
he's a 42% free throw shooter, not the best,
but not that terrible. And now the crowd's really getting into it.
As they should. I mean, he's going to get three, so he's going to get two more opportunities, and he hits the second.
Indeed, and here we are with the third one. And you can already tell that this game's going to be close. I mean, there's just a certain feeling in the air that this game is going to be a really close and down-to-the-wire one.
And so he only hits 1 out of 3. Luckily for Clark, going now down 5. Could have been a lot worse with 3 minutes to play. Hawkins to Ely. Ely going baseline. Good ball movement so far.
Well, they're making smart passes around the court, but they're doing it in a way so that Summit players can't get to it, or not get to it very often enough, so this lead for Summit blows out of proportion. They've been very smart in that aspect.
Yeah, good point. This is going to be a good stretch as Shanti Hawkins does some nice moves to crossover.
Make him fall.
But it was only on a pass. And
get him down.
One of the Clark players tried to get the pass inside the post and then threw it away. Fortunately for that could have been a big change. We're going to have a traveling violation. A lot of contact.
Same guy who fell earlier, Terry Evans. So there you go. Not a very good series for that man.
Yeah, as we're going to have a timeout here. And right before we saw Micah Thomas, Gideon Thomas's brother, entering the game.
Turnovers. Rebounds. Even.
So we'll take a very short break. We'll be back in 1 second.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org.
And we're back. Patrick Lewis and Joey Olberding here at Clark Montessori High School, coming out of a timeout with 2:23 left to go in this first quarter. Man, oh man! Yeah. I don't know about you, but I feel like this is an important stretch for these last 2:23 for Clark. They just got a turnover,
Yeah, well, this whole game's going to be important, and especially the turnovers. Clark has 3 already, and Summit has 2. So this is going to be a game of switching, ball possessions, whether by force or by missing or anything. That's going to be the most important factor in this game for both teams.
As Brazil Moore and Micah Thomas, as I mentioned before, Gideon Thomas with the short jump shot, front of the rim inside the paint, is defensively rebound by Gossinger.
And speaking of Gossinger, he was an all-star for golf this fall, a fall all-star for golf.
Nice pass. Oh, Xavier Johnson can't finish around the rim. Have a Clark opportunity here in transition. Faison leading the break. And Gideon Thomas stepped on the baseline, turning the ball over. So he's a golf standout is what you're saying.
Yes, I am, Patrick. He's one of the best in golf. I mean, he's a golf all-star, but he also plays basketball. You don't see that combination very often, Patrick, and it's really quite impressive.
Yeah. And he was involved with a little contact earlier as an errant pass from the Silver Knights goes out of bounds on the far sideline. Another turnover.
Yeah, I was about to say another turnover, and this crowd is filled to the brim. The crowd's in every single seat, and they're all really into this game. They're all watching with intensity, and you can tell this game means a lot to them too, and not just, to the Cougars themselves.
Yeah, this man defense that Summit's playing, giving them havoc right now. This last half of the first quarter, Cougars haven't done anything offensively. Shot by Hawkins is off the mark. Battle for the rebound ends up with the Silver Knights. Up ahead, we have Woods. Woods gets it knocked away by Brazil Moore. Shanti Hawkins trying to beat Xavier Johnson off the dribble. Xavier Johnson with a nice block, LeBron-like. And they're going to call it a goaltending.
Oh, goaltending. I thought for sure that was going to be an and one. I did not see the goaltend there. It was a miss by Shanti Hawkins, but the putback looks so impressive. And now you can hear the crowd getting really into this game now. It's a 3-point game up against Summit because these Clark fans know what Summit has put them through over the course of the past few years. And so this is a really, really important game.
Defensive foul so far, 7-10 your score with 37 seconds as we're going to have a defensive foul called on Clark on Ryland Woods, who was trying to back down defender. So that's a 4th team foul. They got to be careful here. 4 team fouls in the first quarter. They don't want to get in foul trouble too early. See what Summit does here with the last 37 seconds. He throw it away on the inbounds pass.
He just lost it. He couldn't do anything with it.
Gideon Thomas gonna try a 3, well off the mark. Not his game.
Yeah, if I were Gideon, I know that he's a senior, but you still need to take smart shots in this, especially, as I keep saying, in a close game like this, and with such a good team like Summit that can punish you really quickly if you make a bad shot.
And that really gives them a bad opportunity because they're going to give Summit the last possession with 6 seconds to go. Xavier Johnson is trying to get around Gideon, and he does a little bit with 1 second to go, goes right to the rim without any contention. And that'll end the first quarter. Your score 12-7, and not what the Cougars wanted to end the first quarter.
Definitely not, but you'll have to see how they go in the second quarter, and I hope you stay tuned.
We'll be back in 1 minute.
This is 95.7 MRC.
Cincinnati's new music.
95.7 MRC.
Hi, this is Tasty Burger. How may I help you?
Yeah, let me get a large heart attack, 2 orders of high cholesterol, and a side of muffin top. Hey, Gene, what do you want?
Yeah, just give me a number 3 with high blood pressure and an extra set of love handles and a pot belly.
Want that supersized?
Most definitely.
Obesity prevention starts with you. For more info, go to choosemyplate.gov.
Thought I ain't want no supersize. He must be crazy.
Cincinnati's new music.
95.7 MRC.
95.7 MRC.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
That's not far.
What are we gonna do? Hike?
Sure.
Are we there yet?
Yep. It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org, brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
The freshest beats first.
And welcome back to Clark Montessori High School as we start the second quarter here. Patrick Lewis and Joey Olberding bringing Miami Valley Conference basketball. Your Clark Cougars against the Summit Silver Knights. Score 12-7. we got to look for Clark to get something going offensively, Joey.
Yeah, we do, but in general, this game has been very even, and though it's a 5-point game, it has been very even, and it's all come down to free throws that have been the difference in this one.
Yeah, those 14 fouls for Clark has really hurt them. Let's see if they can play a little bit more sound defensively as they start the quarter here on the defensive side of the ball. Micah Thomas still in. Gideon replaced by Marlon Lyons, and good passing by the Silver Knights ends up with a Ryland Woods layup.
Clark has good team chemistry, but so does Summit.
Micah Thomas for 2-point field goal, one and done again. Silver Knights on the attack. Shanti Hawkins looking to come back in the ball game. Long 3-point field goal from the Silver Knights is good, and there's Skosinger again.
I mentioned it before, but he is one of the best players on the Summit team, and there's so many good players on Summit that's really hard to find. Such a great player, and he's no Xavier Johnson, and he might not even be a Terry Evans, but he's still very, very good.
Yeah, Wally Vickers, sensing that this is a important time in the game, calls a timeout. Not even a minute into the second quarter with the lead ballooning to 10 for the Silver Knights. Your score 17-7. Joey, what does Clark have to do to not let this get out of control?
Well, though it's already a 10-point game, they still have plenty of opportunities. They just need to be smart about their shot selection. In the past few minutes, they have not been so smart about their shot selection. They have been taking shots that their players cannot make and have not been able to make it throughout this entire season. And they just have to be smart about that if they want to be able to come back in this game and be able to at least tie it and, go up ahead and win.
Yeah, and when it comes to turnovers, like you said, they're evenly matched. Each have the same amount of turnovers. Rebounds just edging for the Summit, but they have to start finishing shots. It's about making shots at this point. Who's better at making shots and not fouling? And right now, Clark has not made shots near the rim. They have to start doing that, and I think Gideon Thomas, the senior, has not played a lot this year, so that kind of hurt them offensively. He wasn't really in a rhythm. So the Clark Cougars now with possession outside the timeout, trying to find a little rhythm themselves. We'll have Brazil Moore entering to Faison inside the paint. Nothing doing, kicks it back out. Ely is going to be called. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Faison called for a 3-second violation.
Number 3 with a 3-second.
That's very good. And those things are killers, man.
Really.
And those officials sometimes, they give them more than 3 seconds. So if they're calling 3 seconds, you believe it's more like 5 seconds.
So, yeah, you just have to be on top of that. Even though you're focused on the players, you also have to be focused on the rules,
And Xavier Johnson is on the floor with Alonzo Motley right now. He just got called for a charge.
Elbowed in the face, Miles Faison, and he was in pain, but he managed to get up, and this entire crowd watching, making sure he's okay, but he stood up and he looks fine. Hopefully he'll be good.
Yeah, and Faison not having a good game when it comes to getting hit in the face. That's the second time, and he's a tough kid. The junior, very disciplined, will just rub some dirt on it, get back in the game, and not let it bother him. But, yeah, Motley was throwing some elbows there as we have a long 3 from Marlon Lyons on top of the key. Is no good. Again, not making shots, and the Cougars not rebounding.
Well, Summit is notorious for being a very physical team throughout the years, so that shouldn't shock any Clark fans, and you can tell that it didn't.
Faison strips it, going the other way. Layup no good. They got to finish around the rim. Gets his own rebound. Needs to go back up and finish. Cannot for the second attempt. Ball loose. Hawkins gets it this time. And then stolen on a pass trying to find Lyons underneath.
I know I mentioned before how they were making smart passes around the baseline, but this time was not the case.
And a good call for the Clark Cougars as Faison almost in every single play tries to steal it near midcourt. Gets a hand on it, then pushed by a Silver Knight. So that is the 3rd team foul for the Silver Knights, and the Clark Cougars haven't fouled yet.
And you can tell he's in pain, Faison is, but he's playing through it, and that's really something that you can admire. I know if I were in his shoes, I couldn't get up from some of those hits.
I bet you could.
I'm not so sure, Patrick.
I think you're tough enough as the Cougars now passing again around the perimeter, waiting for something to open up. They need to do more motion offensively. Marlon Lyons is sitting on the block, not ready to move. Hawkins, the junior, trying to be a leader out there, directing traffic. Ely inside the paints, makes a shot. Finally, the first points of the second quarter with 3 minutes into it.
And that's really amazing, Patrick, because it feels like that they have been able to stay in this game, except for the fact that they just haven't been able to score on opportunities. They haven't been able to convert opportunities. They've been doing everything else right enough, but they haven't been able to actually score.
And a drive baseline is good by Gossinger. He was guarded by Hawkins. Gossinger had a little bit of a height advantage, so made that a bit easier. We have a whistle, travel violation on Brazil Moore as he tries to get into the paint. And we're now at a 10-point lead again.
Once again, these Cougars are just ignoring the rules. They're just focusing on, the team, the formidable team in Summit, and they're just forgetting the basic rules. Like, even though I wouldn't be able to take a hit like Miles Faison was able to earlier, I know that I'd at least be able to keep in the back of my mind not to stay in the 3-second lane for 3 seconds.
Yeah, and then another whistle. Lots of things happening here. Sean Ely called for the hold. I believe that's his second personal. Might be his third, according to the official scorekeepers. And if Sean Ely is not going to play, that's a big loss for Clark.
And none of these Clark fans are happy right now. None of these Clark fans are showing, that, they're seeing this team, and you can tell there's just a wave of sort of disappointment. They're all going to still root for the team, but they're looking at this team, they know. They know that this team is struggling right now.
And you see the frustration from the fans and frustration from the bench because they just got a warning. And another one of those will result in a technical foul and free throws for Summit. Or Vickers not happy with the way it's being officiated. But 4:13 left to go in this first half. Xavier Johnson dribbling in and no one stopping his physicality. 21-9. This is getting out of hand, Joey. Faison's got to do something about it right now. He pulls up and hits.
Well, that's exactly what they needed right there. First of all, that was a smart shot. And second of all, it's able to keep this team in the game. And even though it's a 10-point game, they're still there. It's not like they're not trying anymore. They're still trying their hardest and doing pretty well at it.
Nice job defensively. An open back call. And then, hold on, wait a minute. It was tipped by Terrence McLean.
And now the fans are booing and some are cheering. It really does show the confusion that's going on right now. I'll have to admit, I have no idea what's happening right now. But you know what? I mean that in the best way because it really shows, the enthusiasm these fans have. And it's really great.
Their voice and their opinion. We're going to stay with the Silver Knights. 3:35 to go. Up 10. Marks into the game. He's a three-point shooter as well. All these people can shoot the ball from length. Nice job by Micah Thomas, who's extending his defense outside the three-point line without fouling. Going around, kicking out. Xavier Johnson had a look, joined into the lane, guarded by Micah Thomas, who was going to be called for his foul. So that's the 16th foul for Clark, and we'll send Xavier Johnson to the free throw line to shoot two, as it was a shooting foul.
And I kind of mentioned this earlier, but going into this quarter, these teams were completely even in every single way. They were not, Nizim had the big lead, but now you're just seeing Summit pull ahead.
Yeah, and they're not doing bad defensively. Right now, there's a couple of possessions where you feel like they probably should have stopped the ball, and it was really easy getting into the paint, but they're just not doing anything offensively in the two quarters as Xavier Johnson hits 1 out of 2, 22-11 your score, so they need to start creating something offensively here.
Yeah, they do.
Terrence McLean finds Micah Thomas underneath. Almost lost the ball, but we'll call it a pass.
Yeah, that'll give you some motivation, being able to get just a little bit lucky, but also have that skill. It makes for a nice mix. It can really give the team the advantage they need.
9-point lead. Nice job by the Clark defense that time, stopping the ball against Xavier Johnson, but another Silver Knight in the form of Terry Evans getting to the rim this time, and a foul will be called. And from here on out, the bonus will be for the Knights.
And, that's just... I'm not too positive about all the calls, but I will say that Clark can't, I keep saying it, they can't be oblivious to the rules, They're just putting so much contact there as the crowd's getting into it, but they knocked down the free throw. The crowd can't be the sixth man here, or the many next men.
Well, they're going to have to, they're getting into it. You can see some of the students with their shirts off. They got the full pride. but they're going to have to voice a little bit louder, more consistently if they're going to help these Cougars because they're down 10 and probably one more if Evans hits his second one.
Fans can be a big part of it, but, you also need to play well. That's something they're
Evans
doing
is
right
perfect from the free throw line. Shanti Hawkins trying to create off the dribble. Good defense by Evans on the other end. We're at 2:33 to play in this first half. Clark down by 11 points. Good entrance pass to Micah. Micah loses it. And a foul, it looks like it's going to be called on Micah after he lost it. And that's true. That's his second personal.
Second personal in about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's really quite insane, and I'm sure Wally Vickers can't be too happy about that. And I know I'm not. I know most of it is probably from Clark, but I feel like the officials maybe, I don't know, maybe a few calls have been a bit of a stretch, but I'm going to trust the refs here.
Yeah, I think they've done a good job tonight.
Yeah.
So the 18 fouls. So 18 fouls for Clark, 3 for the Silver Knights. And Michael Marks going to the free throw line. Marks an 85% free throw shooter on the season, but it has very few attempts. Only 7 attempts on the season, but has, now 9 attempts and has made 8 of those attempts. So he's a really good free throw shooter in the attempts he's had.
Now it's 26-13, and Summit is really just pulling away after a very close first quarter, and Clark really needs to come out of the locker room in the second half just with a bit more of a game plan than they have right now. It's like they're barely prepared.
Yeah, it's gone to the biggest deficit of the night and have only scored 6 points in this second quarter. Terrence McLean, Brazil Moore, Micah Thomas has more drives. Bank shot no good. Long rebound, Micah Thomas with his athleticism gets it and banks it home. That's what the Cougars need. Maybe he's the X factor.
Micah Thomas was, just in a double clutch and then laid it in. I did not think he was going to make that. That is such an impressive athletic move, and it really shows the potential for this guy, being only a sophomore, and of course the brother of Gideon Thomas.
Gossinger, long 3 is off the mark. Rebound Cougars now with 1:30 to go. Let's see if they can get some momentum. Hawkins, long 2, gets a foul and almost the 3-point play. Man, that would have been huge if he made that shot.
Indeed. I mean, we saw earlier with a foul in very deep 3-point territory, and that's exceedingly rare, but it's also rare to see a foul on a mid-range jump shot, and if he made it, that would have been big momentum for Clark, but making these free throws could do that too.
Hawkins back rims his first one. They got to make their free throws. He's a 59% free throw shooter and has plenty of attempts on the season.
I mean, that's really what shifted the game, Patrick. I mean, frankly, of course Summit has had more opportunities to go to the line, but when Clark is going to the line, they haven't been able to convert.
And he makes the second 10-point game. We'll take a quick break as the Silver Knights call a timeout.
The average time a resume spends on an HR manager's desk is 7 seconds, and most of them are tossed aside. Now imagine if one of those resumes belonged to Yasmin, who was
living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
We rely so much on a resume, yet it could never tell the full story of someone who
had to be independent and take initiative. And that's how I handle every project I get.
Discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org. Brought to you by Grads of Life and the Ad Council.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier.
My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school.
Every day after work, went straight.
And we're back here at Clark Montessori High School. Patrick Lewis and Joey Olberding. The first free throw was just made by Clark by DeShanti Hawkins. And there's been 11 free throws for the Silver Knights, so 2 to 11 in free throws compared to this team. And 1:22 to play, down 10. Clark needs to have this time frame before the half to be beneficial for them if they're going to stay in this game.
Definitely.
Entrance pass by Woods is stolen. Hawkins going the other way in transition. Wide open 3 for Faison. Off the mark. Rebound Johnson.
As we mentioned earlier, a lot of the players on this Clark team just can't really shoot the 3, and that's really what Lions is for. And that's really something that's unfortunate because Clark really does need somebody else other than Lions who can shoot the 3, and that's really keeping them from being a great team.
Yeah, and Clark now is in a position where they need to stop, and they do not get it because Sam Gossinger just hits a 3. Back to a 13-point advantage for the Knights, and we're at 37 seconds. Clark taking their time, looking for something to develop. 29-16, your score. Now down to 25 seconds. Faison near wing. Perimeter passing. Hawkins, deep three off the mark. Rebound is in no one's hands, falls out to almost make court with Faison. Gets it. Nice look underneath the Brazil Moore, who finishes.
And they needed that a little. I keep mentioning a little bit of luck.
4 seconds. Xavier Johnson quickly up the floor and a foul right before half, putting Johnson on the free throw line.
And if that doesn't summarize this whole game, I don't know what it is. You know, getting that opportunity, it's almost over, and then foul after foul after foul, and that's really so unfortunate for Clark.
Yeah, and that's on Faison, who has been racking up the fouls this first half, and that foul was made with 1.6 left to go. And this is going to be, I believe, 2 shots. I'm not sure if it was on the floor. It's a 1-and-1 actually, because I see them moving on the blocks. He makes it regardless, and it's 30-18.
One and one for number 1. That's Xavier Johnson right there with 1 second to play.
Yep.
See how that works out?
Second shot up, back rims it. He's going to try again for a second attempt before the clock runs out. Front rims it. And that's good news for Clark because they were just dodging bullets there for the second part of the first half. Your score as we go into halftime, the Silver Knights 30, your Cougars 18.
Stay tuned.
Music has a powerful effect on anyone, whether you're the one creating it or just listening. At the Music Resource Center Cincinnati, the fun of making music is available to any teen, grades 7 through 12. Record your own songs in our state-of-the-art studios, take one-on-one vocal or instrument lessons, or learn about the music industry and production from professional staff and volunteers, all for just $24 a year. Find out more at mrccincy.org. Music Resource Center, empowering youth through music.
You're not wired to have a response to this sound. You're neutral to it. You hear it every time you finish a meal and never feel anything. But if we were able to associate this sound with a new stimulus, save the food, we've achieved pulling a natural response from you. Save the food. Why are we doing this, you may ask? Save the food. Because this ad is trying to change your after-meal behavior through brainwashing. Because food waste costs the average family $1,500 a year. Save the food, cha-ching, and $1,500 extra bucks is like getting a pay raise. Save the food, cha-ching, you're promoted, which could pay for your child's braces. Save the food, cha-ching, you're promoted.
Check out my braces.
So when you hear this sound, rethink your behavior. Cook it, store it, share it. Just don't waste it. For tips and recipes, visit SaveTheFood.com. Brought to you by NRDC and the Ad Council.
Straight from the Music Resource Center.
This is 95.7 MRC.
This is 95.7 MRC.
The average time a resume spends on an HR manager's desk is 7 seconds, and most of them are tossed aside. Now imagine if one of those resumes belonged to Yasmin, who was
Living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
We rely so much on a resume, yet it could never tell the full story of someone who
had to be independent and take initiative. And that's how I handle every project I get.
Discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org. Brought to you by Grads of Life and the Ad Council.
What's good? It's 95.7 MRC.
95.7 MRC.
Cincinnati's new music.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Cincinnati's new music.
95.7MRC.com.
This is 95.7 MRC.
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool.
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that.
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This is 95.7 MRC.
Cincinnati's new music.
We're even on your smartphone at 957mrc.com.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Beamin'.
New music, you heard?
Beamin' the boom. From high atop Essex Studios, this is WVQCLP Cincinnati.
95.7.
95.7.
95.7.
95.7 MRC.
Cincinnati's new music.
Tweens have mastered the art of tuning out. Jen, there's a spider in the car. We're turning your room into a home gym. See? Nothing. But some messages need to get through. Like making sure they're buckled up the whole ride, every time. Do whatever it takes to make your child listen. Jen, I friended your boyfriend.
Wait, what?
Buckle up, sweetie.
Never give up until they buckle up. Learn more at safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Want to write your own songs, make your own beats, record your own music, get free music lessons? Go to mrccincy.org to find out more about the Music Resource Center.
This is 95.7 MRC.
It's important to buckle up your kids.
I know.
Sometimes car seats can be complicated.
I know.
And if your child's in the wrong seat and you get into a crash,
I know.
it could lead to a serious injury.
I know.
So you're 100% sure you have the right car seat for your child's age and size?
I don't know.
Don't think you know. Know you know. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Make sure you have the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The freshest beats. First, 95.7 MRC.
It's 95.7 MRC. Let's go.
Cincinnati's new music.
Everybody buckle up. Buckle up.
Let's go.
Buckle up.
Can we go to the store? Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Everybody, buckle up.
A lot goes on in the car, but you're in control. So only move when you hear the click that says they're buckled in. Never give up until they buckle up. Learn more at safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool.
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that.
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This is 95.7 MRC.
Cincinnati's new music.
We're even on your smartphone at 957mrc.com.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Beamin'.
No music, you heard?
Beamin' the boom. From high atop Essex Studios, this is WVQCLP Cincinnati.
95.7.
95.7.
95.7.
95.7 MRC.
Cincinnati's new music.
Tweens have mastered the art of tuning out. Jen, there's a spider in the car. We're turning your room into a home gym. See? Nothing. But some messages need to get through. Like making sure they're buckled up the whole ride, every time. Do whatever it takes to make your child listen. Jen, I friended your boyfriend.
Wait, what?
Buckle up, sweetie.
Never give up until they buckle up. Learn more at safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Want to write your own songs, make your own beats, record your own music, get free music lessons? Go to mrccincy.org to find out more about the Music Resource Center.
This is 95.7 MRC.
It's important to buckle up your kids.
I know.
Sometimes car seats can be complicated.
I know.
And if your child's in the wrong seat and you get into a crash,
I know.
it could lead to a serious injury.
I know.
So you're 100% sure you have the right car seat for your child's age and size?
I don't know.
Don't think you know. Know you know. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Make sure you have the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and
the freshest beats. First, 95.7 MRC.
It's 95.7 MRC. Let's go.
Cincinnati's new music. This is 95.7 MRC.
Cincinnati's new music.
We're even on your smartphone at 957mrc.com. Cincinnati's new music.
957mrc.com.
This is 95.7 MRC.
Want to make your own beats? Go to mrccincy.org and join us.
Direct from the Music Resource Center in Cincinnati.
This is 95.7 MRC.
Want to write your own songs, make your own beats, record your own music, get free music lessons? Go to mrccincy.org to find out more about the Music Resource Center.
This is 95.7 MRC.
Beamin'.
No music, you heard?
Beamin' the boom. From high atop Essex Studios, this is WVQCLP Cincinnati.
95.
Student run, student made.
Direct from the MRC, straight from the Music Resource Center.
95.7 MRC.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Clark Montessori High School. My name is Patrick Lewis, alongside the freshman phenom, Joey Olberding.
I'm not Trey Young.
Remember that Wyoming game?
Yeah, that Wyoming game was fun. If you tuned in, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, so let's not go any further than that. So we're about 1 minute away from starting the second half, and there's so much to talk about, Joey. You just go ahead and start us off.
Well, first of all, Clark came out the gate in the first quarter very strongly. They were losing after the first quarter, but it was a close game against a very good Summit team. But in the second quarter, they were just blown away. And the fact of the matter is, they were playing too aggressive. And I usually say aggressive defense is good defense, but coming out the gate in the second half, I want them to play safe. And the only time I want them to be aggressive if there's a clear opportunity to be aggressive, because it's so essential for Clark to do. It's senior night. They need a big win. This is such a big game, and they need this. They really do, and they just need to come out the gate. They need to play smart, and they need to play good defense. And safe defense can be good defense played in the right hands, and I hope Wally Vickers talked to his team about that.
Well, if they're going to play safe defense, they're going to have opportunities from the three-point line, and they've been getting burned from the three-point line
this
evening, and they're going to have to start extending their defense more. So, your score, 30-18 to start this second half. Clark is have to do something offensively, and they will get the opportunity because they will start with possession. Miles Faison with the ball to start, and he hands it off to Shanti Hawkins. Hawkins dribble drives, kicks it back out. Nothing there. Good defense with the man defense the Silver Knights are playing. They've been playing man all day. Baseline drive. tries to kick it back out, but an over back call as an errant pass trying to find Ely on the top of the key.
That was an attempted double dribble right there, but he was so far at the baseline and trying to kick out to the perimeter that at that point that you just want to shoot the ball. I felt as if he had a very good opportunity there, but the fact of the matter is he thought that he didn't. And he may very well have been right in that situation, but the pass was just not the best he could have had at the moment.
Yeah, and it's an empty possession to start the second half, and that's not what the Cougars wanted. And Wally Vickers, I'm sure, was drawing something up in the locker room at halftime, and that's not what he drew up.
No, it couldn't have been.
Evans passes to Motley, and Motley does a nice reverse layup. And 32-18 is your score, a 14-point deficit for your Cougars, and it's the largest of the evening.
And that's that fast offense we've seen from Summit this entire game that's really been able to get Clark.
Hawkins is corralled by defenders inside the paint. He's got to kick it back out. They've done a really good job, the Silver Knights have, of helping on the defensive side. Faison for three, good, and they needed that.
Well, as I mentioned in the first half, Clark isn't really that great at three-point shooting, but if they can hit that opportunity and they can get that opportunity, then they can really come out the gate and really do very well.
Yeah, the difference in the game, I mean, athletically, Clark is still right up there with the Silver Knights, and they're playing well. Gideon Thomas is back in the game, and an errant pass in the paint. Sean Healy going the other way. Will be stripped of the ball, not fouled as he goes up for the layup, and we'll stay with Clark.
I felt like that was a questionable call. I could have gone the other way with that.
Nice pass. No one was looking as the Silver Knights fell asleep, and Hawkins took advantage of it with a quick interior pass, and we're back to a 9-point deficit now. Almost 6 minutes to go in this third quarter. Almost a good start outside the first possession for the Cougars.
Indeed, and that's the coaching of Wally Vickers. He's always so good coming out of the half.
Dribble drive by Woods is no good as he kind of created space himself offensively. They've been doing that quite often, but a foul will be called on Gideon Thomas. Not a shooting foul, it's foul on the floor after the shot. So that's the first team foul for either team in the second half. Embedding now under the basket. Good defense by Faison in the corner as the Cougars go back to man.
Really good at boxing out here, Clark has right now.
Good baseline drive and kick to Gossinger, who was waiting about 3 feet underneath the basket. He scores back up to 11. Faison trying to respond. Floater in the wing. Bank is open after hours.
Faison having an impressive game in terms of getting turnovers and also being able to get hard opportunities to get buckets. He hasn't converted on all of them, but he's been good at getting those opportunities.
Yeah, Faison been the primary scorer already in this second half, has 5 points, 25-34. Gossinger thought about that three at the top of the key. Nice cut to the basket, but that extra pass was too much, and Deshaunte Hawkins takes it the other way. A good opportunity here for Clark to get back on the scoreboard again, try to cut in this deficit.
Well, it's a 9-point game now. Clark has already come back a lot from where they were after the first half.
Ely long three is good, and it's down to 6. And the timeout is called by Summit with 4:54 to play in the third quarter.
And this crowd is getting back into the game, and so is the team along with it. It really shows how the crowd goes with the team.
Yes. So, I don't know if they heard you or not, but is there soft defense? Are they playing soft enough for you, Joey?
I feel like they aren't playing that soft. I feel like they're going aggressive, but they're being smart aggressive. And that's a type of aggressiveness that sometimes I don't think exists. It's so difficult to pull off, but the Cougars are pulling it off right now, and that's so impressive.
Yeah, so we're going to have to see because this is an important stretch. Down 6, and they've been doing some good things offensively by making shots, obviously, but by creating opportunities, close proximity to the baskets, doing smart basketball. That inbound pass was a huge momentum shift. And then Shante Hawkins, again, 5th in the conference with steals, made a good steal, coming the other way and was smart with the basketball.
Indeed, and you mentioned Miles Faison earlier. He had 2 points in the first half, and he already has 5 in the second half. So he has 7 already, and he's just really dominating this half. He's really showing after, a bit of roughing him up in the first half, how dominant he can be.
And it's good press defense coming out with Clark. They've been extending their defense now outside the 3-point line, not giving them a whole lot of room. And we're going to have a tie-up as Xavier Johnson gets into the paint. Ooh, some words exchanged from Gideon Thomas and Xavier Johnson. With his last game here at home, Gideon Thomas does not want to get one of those arguments. So the possession arrow is with Summit. We'll stay here. This bounce pass will be controlled by Summit as a long three from the wing is off the mark. Rebound is bounced around, eventually corralled by the Cougars.
And on that play, you could see the Cougars start to play a little softer.
Trying to create is Ely. Step back jump shot. Oh! And the basket.
I mentioned earlier how it's so difficult to pull off an and one from mid-range, but Sean Ely was able to step back, create his own shot, and get fouled on the play. That was John Wall. That was any point guard in the NBA. That is an NBA-type move, and I can't say that I have ever seen that in a high school game. That is so impressive.
And that is a sophomore we're talking about. He completes a three-point play. 31-34. We have a ball game, Joey.
Oh, yeah, we do. All of a sudden, Summit is the one that's not doing very good. And a 5-second violation, and it's Clark ball, and now they have the momentum.
It looks like they got a timeout, I think, before that. So the 5-second violation, I don't think it was called. I think it was
still, the momentum is there.
I completely agree with you. With 4:02 to go, we're going to have a timeout, and we're going to celebrate one of Clark's seniors. We're going to stay with you here. Jordan Nunn is being celebrated at half court because she surpassed the 1,000th point mark in her last game here.
And we broadcasted that game, didn't we, Patrick?
We did. She is being presented now with that basketball that she made that 1,001 point with. As pictures are being taken, and it's being administered by Athletic Director Brian Myers. And a nice moment for her. She'll remember that for the rest of her life.
Indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Nunn.
We've had a lot of 1,000-point celebrations this year in the Miami Valley Conference. In the boys, specifically, I remember North College Hill's Lorenzo Sparks, who is a leading scorer in the Miami Valley Conference. He clipped 1,000 points already this season as well.
Which is really amazing because it really just does show the level of skill in college and high school basketball now.
And what excites me is that a lot of kids are playing multiple years. It's not just 2 years, junior and senior varsity. They're playing a lot more years. They're playing sophomore, possibly even freshman to get to that point. And that's exactly what Jordan Nunn did. Jordan played for 3 or 4 years at the varsity level, and it's a great opportunity for these kids to get that experience. So after the timeout, Summit will come out with the ball, and Xavier Johnson trying to get up the sideline is going to be pushed by Gideon Thomas. Gideon picking up another foul quickly in this second half, 4:08 to go.
Well, it's really hard to defend a guy like Xavier Johnson. As we mentioned, he's a star wideout for this Summit team, and that's a really hard guy. He's fast, strong, he's really everything.
Yeah, he's very versatile on that football team. He returns punts, kicks, he can do the running back, he can do the receiver role, and he's playing that role now. Almost a turnover by Bashanti Hawkins. Errant pass is going to stay with the Knights. Man, that was close.
Now, I wasn't too sure about that call. I felt like it could have gone either way on that one. And I know I keep saying that, but really, there have been a lot of close calls in this game. And most of them have gone towards Summit's advantage.
So, Hawkins almost got another one as Xavier Johnson passes it, and a swish from Ryland Woods puts it right back up to 6. 6-point advantage now with 3:30 to go. Hawkins trying to rally his team. Man defense and doing a lot of switching right now near the perimeter. See if they can get a matchup they like. Micah Thomas not in the game. He was an X factor. Shanti Hawkins pulls up from 3 off the mark. Tip in, no good by Gideon. Rebound Xavier. Summit driving, Xavier Johnson driving, kick for 3. Back iron, no good. Rebound, Miles Faison.
It's not a shot Xavier Johnson misses all that much. He's very consistent, and that was a rare miss from him.
Shanti Hawkins, nice pump fake inside the paint after going baseline. 5-point deficit, 2:44 to play in the third quarter. You can see the energy now. You can see the focus right now by Miles Faison guarding the ball keeper.
But it's important that the crowd is also into it, and they are right now. They're very into this game, and that's something that Clark needs.
Long three again from Summit, and this one is a swish as well. That three-point field goal has been detrimental to Clark all night.
Now that was Deshaunte Hawkins getting off of his man to try to double team Johnson, but it just didn't work, and it got the man wide open in the corner, and you just can't do that.
Yeah, once they start getting close, they got to 3 points, and they just balloon it back up to 6 or 7. It's at 7 now, 40-33 with 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. Let's see what they can do offensively. Gideon Thomas gets it back to McLean, who's in the game. McLean drives, kicks. Faison double team on the baseline. Gets knocked away right in the hands of Gideon Thomas, who makes a layup.
Right out of Faison's hands into Gideon Thomas's, and he just put it in, and now it's a 5-point game.
And we just had an over and back call. He stepped over the line trying to inbounds it, so a turnover for the Silver Knights will give the ball back to the Cougars, down 5.
Now the momentum is all with Clark. If they can convert here, that momentum can shift completely to Clark's side.
Inbounding the ball to Deshaunte, guarded by Johnson. Gets by him. He probably should have just went to the hole right there instead of faking it. He probably could have had a nice, easy layup.
I wouldn't have risked it with these tall Summit defenders here.
Yeah, our guards are short. They don't have the height advantage. We're going to get a travel on Terrence McLean as he gets to the free throw line. He wanted a foul. A little bit of an acting job there. Tried to get that animation towards the referee, but didn't work.
Not that good of an actor.
Well, on the bright side, only 2 team fouls for Clark and only 1 team foul for Summit. So 3 team fouls overall combined with 1:20 to go in this third. So the whistles haven't come in regards to fouls. As a nice baseline drive right around Sean Ely by Terry Evans. And we're, again, creating a deficit for ourselves, getting in that hole.
Summit is such a consistent team year after year, and really it's so hard to stop them.
And a traveling violation as Faison tries to go to the rim, but slips. His left foot just went right down underneath him, unfortunately. That's just one of those basketball plays you just can't.
You can't really do anything about. That's nobody's fault. It just happens.
So the 5 on the floor now for the Cougars: Brazil Moore, Deshaunte Hawkins, Sean Ely, Terrence McLean, and Micah Thomas, who's entered the game.
You hate the fact that plays like that can change the course of the game, but it can.
And Micah Thomas, who tried to extend that, a nice pick to Gossinger, and Gossinger makes him pay with a long 3 again, back up now to 10.
He has made all of his shots, and they've all been 3s so far, Patrick. He's really been doing very well at his one job, shooting 3s.
Yep, and he's good at it, so everyone knows their role. So with 22 seconds now, Hawkins, nice jump stop, short on his shot, gets a second opportunity with the foul, and it doesn't get it to go.
Almost converted the and one. It looked like it was in the basket, Patrick, but it just rolled right out. But still, gotta make these free throws here if you're Clark. You know, they've kind of been struggling at the line today, so if they convert them, that can really give momentum shift towards them in terms of free throws at the very least.
Yeah, and the 59% free throw shooter of Hawkins rolls in the first one, as Wally Vickers was taking his team and talking to them during that first free throw. And I'm not sure what's going on here with a Summit player. It's Rylan Woods had some words to say to that group, and the official was separating the two. So we'll have the second free throw by Hawkins, good. So now it's an 8-point deficit, 16 seconds to go. And Summit will do something for that entire duration, I assume. It will be in Xavier Johnson's hands. Now crossing the midcourt with 9 seconds to go. Nice pick by Gossinger, getting Xavier free, but a foul will be called on either Micah Thomas or Terrence McLean. That's Micah's personal with 4.6 seconds to go, right near the basket, and will send Xavier to the free throw line.
And the crowd is slowly getting more and more out of it, and that's just because of the fact that, you know, the lead is starting to slip. It's like the team goes exactly with the crowd. Though the cheerleaders are still cheering, you know, that doesn't always, you know, change the dynamic of a game.
For the last 5 seconds here for the 4.6, Marlon Lyons will enter the game. For the Cougars, hopefully maybe a long 3 if they get the opportunity, as Xavier misses the first. So still an 8-point game.
At the line for the Knights, number 1, Xavier Johnson, shooting 1.
Xavier's second shot, swish, and the 4 seconds will be in Shanti's hands. Shanti's got to lift it up. He gives it to Ely. He's got to put it up, and it looks like he got a blocked or foul, 1-2. Sean looks at the official in very much dismay.
He shakes his head right at, looking right at the ref, and
yeah, the near side 3 was right in front of us. We're gonna go to commercial. We'll see you here in 1 minute.
Stay tuned.
95.7 MRC.
MRC.
Cincinnati's new music.
Okay, forest animals, kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow, have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. River, how's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man.
I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. Okay. Squirrel.
The forest has been preparing just for you. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Cincinnati's new music.
95.7MRC.com.
This is 95.7 MRC.
I'm little teapot, short and stout.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
No, Dad, like this. When I get all steamed up, then I shout, tip me over and pour me out.
This is WWE superstar Roman Reigns. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
95.7 MRC.
MRC.
Cincinnati's new music.
Okay.
95.7.
95.7.
95.7.
95.7 MRC.
Cincinnati's new music.
And welcome back to Clark Montessori High School. Patrick Lewis and Joey Olberding joining you for the last frame of this contest between your Clark Cougars and the Summit Silver Knights, who we call the school up the street because they are in Hyde Park, right off Grandin near Cincinnati Country Club, and rivals in proximity and rivals in the Miami Valley Conference. So,
rivals in general.
Exactly.
They've been for many, many years.
Cougars down 9 with possession. Need to do something offensively. We'll reset here for you. 3 team fouls for Clark, 2 for the Silver Knights. Has some foul trouble for Micah Thomas and some foul trouble for Miles Faison and possibly Sean Neely. So the Cougars not necessarily in a good situation where they need to keep out. Brazil Moore and the Cougars trying to create perimeter
They're
passing.
definitely dribble driving a lot. It seems to be their main focus of attack at the moment. Just going in and passing back out to the perimeter. That's something Vickers likes doing a lot of.
Sean Neely goes baseline and gets fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. That's a good offensive possession in my book.
Yeah, really good job of Clark to be able to find the open space to go down the baseline and get fouled. Even though they weren't able to convert the bucket, just the fact that they get to the line is important enough.
Neely, a good free throw shooter.
Good shooter in general.
The 80% free throw shooter makes the first, and this is where, if they're going to win this game, they need to convert.
Indeed. You know, I've been saying it all game, convert, 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 but it really is that important. As I say, he does not convert a free throw.
Yeah, that's tough. An 8-point deficit now, approaching 7 minutes left to go. Xavier Johnson creating good double team. Kicks it back out. Gossinger looking for a pick up top. No rush here for the Silver Knights. Gossinger thought about the long 3 guarded by Micah Thomas. Micah now switches, guarding Woods. Woods at midcourt.
Woods has 8 in this game, so he's definitely been a threat for the Summit team.
Going baseline is Motley. And it was going to be a charging violation on Motley.
And that was definitely a charge. Definitely. I didn't really know what else to say there. I mean,
he went strong. He
definitely went strong. Micah Thomas was definitely in the position to get the charging foul, and that was just a good old charging foul. And the Summit guy just didn't see him.
So let's see if Clark can take advantage of it. Scoring on the other end, down 8, 6:20 to play. Marlin Lyons has it. Now gives it to Ely. Ely passes back to Marlin Lyons. Brazil now trying to get into the paint. He wants to find Micah. Micah gets it to go.
Ball almost went out of bounds, but he used his length and his wingspan to get the ball from the out of bounds and was just able to put it in like that. He is such a tall player, such a lanky player, and he's really going to be an important part of this Clark team for years to come.
Shanti Hawkins doing what he does best, stealing the ball and trying to go the other way, creating. Marlon Lyons can't get the pass and basket to go, and no one back defensively. And as well,
they slam it home.
Gossinger.
You don't see many slams here. Gossinger, he has 14. He's leading Summit, or now he has 16.
Shanti Hawkins trying to respond the other end with a three. They needed that. They were down 8.
It's a 5-point game.
That's right. So that's a big offense, 2 big offensive possessions for Clark.
This game is closer than it seems.
Long 3 is good by Woods.
Everybody on the Summit team is a threat from the 3. Even if you think, oh, they're not going to hit it, they're going to hit it. It's just so hard to defend if you're Clark. But
yeah, they have 4 players averaging double figures basically, and they distribute the ball well, and they all score. They all can make the ball go in the basket. As Ely tries to get in the paint and loses it, a turnover for Clark. 51-43, 8-point deficit with 4:48 to go.
And once again, the lead is starting to slip. Clark has been able to come back a few times, but this time with 4 minutes to play, it's kind of more difficult for them.
They can do it, though. They've been playing well. It's just those couple stretches where they need to hunker down. Micah Thomas on Gossinger, who's having a hard time finding somebody out. Brazil Moore almost got the steal from Xavier. And Woods again for almost the same spot. Misses this time. Good aggressive rebound for Lions.
He's going in Curry range and hitting it almost every single time.
Moore just taking it to Gossinger on the other end.
6-point game. Clark needs the momentum. 4 minutes to go. They can come back.
Exactly.
The question is, will they?
Right now, Faison and Gideon Thomas at the table ready to check in at the next whistle.
Xavier Johnson is such a big player. He seems to have size on almost everybody, even the big men. And
Woods thought about a pump fake, went in and then kicked it back out. Shot well off the mark.
You don't see many shots that don't even touch the rim.
There's Gossinger again from 3.
Speaking of touching the rim, the ball went in. The ball went in the basket. Gossinger.
It's amazing. This guy cannot miss.
19 points. And it's the Splash Brothers. It's Wood and it's Gossinger.
Important time in the game. 54-45, a 9-point deficit for Cougars, and Wally Vickers sensing that he needs a timeout and calls one with 3:27 to go.
It's almost half court, Patrick, that they're able to hit these threes. It's like they practice it knowing, oh, the defenders won't go at us all the way out here. And they're right, because if you go for, if you contest the ball that's so far out, a defender can easily get by you and take a 3 that's even closer. It's really just a lose-lose situation for Clark.
And especially that last 3 by Gossinger, he didn't even set his feet. He got the ball and was trying to create space for him by swiping the ball through, and he just elevated, not very much.
No, he
and just
really
shot
didn't.
over the defender, and it went in.
That's just pure skill right there, and I don't know how else to put it, but Clark is skill, but Summit has skill. They know who they have, and their guys, they come out and they play basketball. They play solid basketball, and it almost feels unfair, but this is how it's been for years, and Summit is just...
Well, athletically, I'm gonna say that we have the basketball players to compete with this team. There's no doubt in my mind we can beat this team.
That is so true.
Down 9, but we're gonna need the student section, half of them are on their feet now, to start voicing their opinion in favor of Clark for this last 3.5 minutes. If they're gonna make this 9-point comeback, and Gideon Thomas and Brazil Moore, Brazil Moore is in the game now. Shanti Hawkins pull-up jump shot from the free throw.
Oh!
Gets the nice
back-ironed it. It went above, everything. It went above the backboard. I was thinking, oh, it's going to go out of bounds. But no, straight in the basket. And that gives some momentum.
Now under 3 minutes, the nice drive is no good by Woods. And then we're in transition. Hawkins trying to take it. Matters in his own hands.
Oh!
And he's flexing his arms.
Rolls right in the basket. Perfect shot by Hawkins there, and it's a 5-point game. Clark can come back, and I think that they may be able to if they can shut down Summit.
We're in store for a good finish here. 2:33 to go. 5-point deficit and a whistle away from the ball against Summit. That call against Michael Marks, the sophomore, getting the personal foul. So 14 fouls for Summit and 13 fouls for Clark.
Still, Sam Guilford seems to be very mad about something, and I'm not sure if it was something with another teammate or what, but that's something that we'll want to keep an eye on.
Sam Guilford, the JV head coach, is a good coach now, supplying the varsity with his talents, trying to get his team motivated in this last 2.5 minutes, down 5. Hawkins really wants to take over this game. You can tell when he wants to drive, but he's being a good team player and getting everybody involved.
They need to find some offensive quicker. They can't just keep dribble driving it.
Michael Thomas, Micah, long two is off the mark and rebounded. And then Gideon Thomas, his brother, ends up fouling on the rebound. Not a good foul. It's okay because they have a couple to give, but under 2 minutes now, you don't necessarily want to give them any opportunities.
Come on, Micah. And they'll probably try to waste as much time as possible for Summit in order to stay in this game, and they may even foul when it comes down to the ends.
1:43 to play. The Knights in no hurry. Ball in Xavier Johnson's hands, grabbed by Micah Thomas. Dribble drive and kick out wide open for Woods.
He
falls
missed
out.
it. That is a rare miss, and you need to convert on that.
Long rebound, Faison. Faison in the paint. Alter the shot, but it has now a wide open.
Put it back. Put it back,
game.
Miles. Put it back.
1:20 to go.
3 points.
54-51. Good defense by Clark on the dribble drives by Summit. And now a whistle on the floor.
Terrible foul.
Wow, we got a tee on, I believe, Rylan Woods, who was getting in the face of Micah Thomas. Micah, a sophomore. Rylan Woods, a junior. Clearly some aggression.
And Clark fans are clapping because of this tee, and that is a big foul. We've seen so many fouls in this game, but that might just be the biggest one, Patrick.
Well, we have a conference going on between the officials. It looks like a technical foul was definitely called. It's just on who.
There's definitely some confusion about that. I know I'm confused, Patrick.
Well, it looks like Gideon Thomas might have been called, or Micah Thomas. I couldn't hear. I heard a Thomas name. But Woods is shooting free throws. And he's a 69%.
And the crowd is into it. Woods misses the first. And that, still a one-possession game with a minute to go. And here they have the second. The crowd's getting into it again. Can he make it? Will he miss it? We'll see right here. This is going to be a big free throw. He makes it. It's now a two-possession game, Patrick. With a minute to play, they're going to have to start fouling. Will they?
Yeah, they're taking Gideon Thomas out. That was a clear technical foul apparently on him. So they're going to get his personality out of the game. They don't want to necessarily on senior night make a bad exit for him. But now a 4-point lead for Summit and the ball with 1 minute to go. Their defense has to be good right now with 1 minute remaining. They're going to have to get the ball back and a stop.
You can feel the tension in the air, Patrick. You can feel it.
Almost a steal by Brazil Moore. He's been just barely missing those all night. 46 seconds to go, down 4. Micah Thomas guarding Motley now. Extending
the fans
the
are
defense.
screaming the foul. And there's the foul.
It looks like their 15 foul pass, 16 foul, so they need to foul one more time. And a timeout by Wally Vickers, and we'll take one with him with 38 seconds left to play in this contest.
This is 95.7 MRC.
Cincinnati's new music.
95.7 MRC.